Secrete me now to your service, Lord, by thy power of grace divine. Let my soul look up with a steadfast hope, and my wills be lost in thine. Draw me nearer, 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 blessed Lord, to the cross.
Let me thank all of you for coming today. My name is Joseph Pinder, and I believe I am the oldest nephew of my Uncle Austin. I have a brother, his name is Mark Pinder, and a sister whose name is Sharon Pinder. And we have many children, so he has many great nieces and nephews. I moved to Antigua to run my family business in 2009. My good friend, Mr. Devlin Martin, who is sitting there, I said to him, I have an uncle in St. Kitts, and I would like to go and see him. Well, I couldn't expect what I saw. I didn't know that he was in that state of illness. So needless to say, I was heartbroken. And in my own ignorance, I was trying to say, Uncle Austin, come if you need anything. Whatever you need a house, you need a place to stay, come to me at the hotel. You need money? And he just shook his head. No. Holding a radio that was playing nothing. But it seemed as if it was his possession to treasure. I made several trips back, and every time I would come, my friend Mrs. Liebert, who actually works at the courthouse, Sharon Liebert, would make sure, along with Mr. Martin, that I would go and see him. But I must say, a serious debt of gratitude to the folks of this community who obviously loved him, cared for him, had the patience for his illness, and the love that you bestowed on him is very apparent in this room and among people who I have talked to. Curtis, I cannot commend you enough. And for everyone who played a part in today's event, it is a sad moment, but I believe I have a lot to learn from my Kittitian family. Thanks much, and thanks for having me.
Pleasant good afternoon. The scripture reading is taken from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51 to 55. Look, I will tell you a mystery. We will not all die, but we will all be changed. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will rise imperishable.
All right, good day. Thanks for coming. As I normally state that human being is a brain with a body, and not necessarily a body with a brain. And so it didn't take anything much for any one of us to be in the same state that our Uncle Austin Pinders was in. Normally actually name it to say Austin Alexander Chatterton Wilkinson Pinders, all those her name. And some people feel that Pinders was a nickname, but it's actually Pinder. That is his correct name, Pinder. It is not a nickname. So in the past, and we heard that it passed, then Curtis and I decided we're going to give him official burial, and not just, as some people thought, even though wasn't saying, but he ain't buried yet, as if the government will bury him. And so He said, no man, we have people. I mean, some person will be saying, oh, the people got some other people, but what I'm saying that to each his own, right? And it's not a matter that the love and care was not there, but even though sometimes you want to bring him home, I remember one time I had in my car, and from the town towards Keon, where you going? And then it was a lot of workers to the back and opening the back door, so I had to actually stop and let him pass, you know. And it didn't matter he done anywhere to live, because the place was still there, all right? But he thinks that he been comforted wherever, you know, according to his mentality, all right? But Pinders basically was a nice guy. I mean, we'll have known him, I mean, he might have been a state before someone was born, basically. But then, and he worked. He was a tailor, and if you're old enough, you'll recognize that he used to walk with a tape line, all right? I remember him coming home in all brown. He was a watchman at the factory. With a carpenter, I think he worked at Jenkins carpentry business, yes. And Pina have done, he was a mason, he had a lot of work, all right? And if you check the Social Security, he made his contribution. So even though that he was out for so many years, he actually put in his time, all right? And, you know, he was no disturbance to anybody. I don't think that anybody inside here used to wash his skin faster than Pinders. Every 2 hours, right? Every single public bath in Keon, Pinders, he's with all a spooner in the bath. The school, primary school, he used to be there. But then, you know, just like anything, doing chemistry, some kind of mental thing and chip in, and persons just act according to what they doing there, but nothing what the physically body, all right? He was a nice and friendly guy, a givish dude. A lot of persons will tell you, boy, I used to give me a penny from Pinders about his sugar cake, you know. I used to do this, and you'd be surprised that he might have maybe teachers and policemen who might be borrowing money from him and no return, all right? And so he was a guy that will actually give. Okay, he wasn't a selfish dude. He smiled. When he first nickname on him, it was Laugher. Everybody's calling Laughter because he would just laugh a lot. You talk to him and he just laugh off anything. All right? He ain't not much to say, and he was a well-spoken kind of guy. You sit down and keep a conversation with him, and he speak with you, you know, proper English as well, he said. I remember one day I was home and my sister, Minette, came and said, boy, we up there having a good conversation. I said, what happened? He said, Austin. Because somebody knocked him, he broke his leg, so came here and clean him up. And he came and he was with his sister for a while. And then he just got back into his norm. A few months ago, that he was kind of, you know, a policeman probably beat him up and okay. So I went to the hospital to look for him, but as I reached, my sister went, and then he said, listen to me, the gentleman left. He said, for me to put in the last stitch and let he go. So he left the hospital before we actually get there. For me, the time we got the news, I said, just left. Went and looked for him, we didn't find him, but then I met him on the street, and then, you know, I had a little rapport with him, you know, and so he had some very close, you know, calling there, and each time we were going to look for him. Still have some clothes, some that I bought for you, that kind of stuff, and I will tell him, hey man, you need some trousers? Because that's where, you know, he got a kind of nice way of talking. He never say pants. He said like trousers and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Even a couple of days before he passed, I said, Spinners, man, I still have some trousers for you. And I said, not now. All right? And even though that he was in the street, he's very selective who we converse with, and we would take things from him. Because he come and give me a plate of food and he refuse it. All right? You give him money and refuse it. All right? I gave him money a couple of days before he passed. He called me Dion, you know. He called my name back when he said, Andy. He said, Dion. All right? And then I met him at the supermarket. They said, we want to eat. All right? And we wasn't embarrassed about him. All right? We stayed here, we talked to him. I said, boy, you take me Pinders. I said, hey, that's my uncle. You know, and even at school, even in the staff, I tell people, boy, that's my uncle. You know? I'm not talking about even since he passed, even before that. So everybody know, and if you look around, the Pinders have a lot of nieces and grandniece all the way down. Anguilla, Antigua, just name it. All right? And if I'm right inside the niece and nephews that he's here, and I think nobody was really ashamed of him. All right? he lived his life to the best of what, he could have. He didn't necessarily need of anything to speak, but, his brain actually decide. Okay? We're not much ready to say, basically. Right? And he don't complain. You never find Kim Pinders complain about anything. Alright? As one guy said to me, boy, when I live again, I want to live like Pinders. He don't worry about anything at all, know when to pay the bill, wherever he gonna make himself comfortable, and then complain. Since he passed in a guy, from used to live in the BVI, he said, listen, man, you need to do a study on Pinders. I mean, for a guy to live that, January we will make Pinders 90. So when I ask some persons, how would you think Pinders? Same to this and that. They said, no. He said, man, he's still walking, that strong. You know what I mean? And, he was loved by many. And then, as I say, he don't want to interfere in anybody. Person will come and interfere in him, and then he will take whatever you do to him, he will just take it cool and just say, sometimes I say, Pinders, what happened to you, man? He's okay. I know it goes. So he won't need to explain and say, boy, this happened or that happened to you. He just say, he know it goes. And he leave it just like that. Alright? But there was so many situations. I think the street is an icon. You know what I mean? It's not easy to replace. And so everybody that stay on the street basically is like, it's like behind the Pinders, the street is not the same. Alright? And he moved along freely and fearless. Alright? He ain't not afraid to go anywhere in his engage. Anytime. It doesn't matter where. Alright? There's some person living just in Basti and they can't go across the next street. Pinders go anywhere. He don't not afraid to go anywhere. Alright? And anytime. Alright? And he don't even have to beg. A lot of persons just give him money, give him stuff. And he's not the point cause not come on and beg, say, give me $1, give me away case of it. But he still have. And he's sharing. He know how to beg, and not only that, I've seen him come. Exactly. If you don't know his name and you know your mother's name, they will call him mother. Alright? Like you might see someone from Miss John, he say, Miss John 1. You know what I mean? So he know definitely. And I've seen him, and there was evidence, and if you look on Facebook, you see that I've been sharing what he have with others. In recent time, there's a very young guy, probably in the 20s, and that was like he good partner. Share food, I see him go across, he share food, the guy bring food for him the same way. I see him sharing the secret with other persons and the sidewalk. So even his state, he still have I guess when they develop a habit, develop a good one. And so I guess at his nurture stage, he will develop the habit of actually giving. And so even at his age and his condition didn't actually stop him from actually give, all right? And still taking care of others. He still give you advice. He will still advise you, all right? As one guy say, in the Pinders, at time and Pinders, we're talking to him. And Pinders say, man, don't let me, he's an intelligent guy, and there's a lot of good in your case. And he was shocked. To say that Pinders said him that. And there are so many stories that he has said to so many persons. Even in the past, even when he made a personality, and it was like a session there on Pinders, everybody wanted to wheeze and that kind of stuff. And thing that he said it from person, another person post up pictures with him, and Facebook, they take pictures and that kind of stuff. Right? So, he will be missed, but I think that he'll leave an impression in a lot of us, and so it'll be something really to remember, And if some persons also, take a little note from his book that it doesn't matter who you are, he seems to treat everybody on the same level. You know what I mean? And as I said, I just had some notes here, and I just said, leave the notes, and I'm going to speak from my experience. All right? And so I won't take up a lot more time, because to speak about Pinders, we're going all the way down. All the way. You know what I mean? Because even my grandmother used to say, still look out for him until she died. All right? And it's everything. This place belongs to Pinders. This is Pinders, you know what I mean? And that's the case, and the Lord knows best. And he's part of your good life. So thank everybody for coming, and that's basically my recollection of Pinders. All right? Okay.